With racism back in news, so is the mention of Winston Churchill. Was he really a racist? Yes, he was. His racism is well documented, and now we bring you some pages from history. Let's have a look at our next report.
A wartime prime minister, celebrated statesman, touted a hero of the free world. Sir Winston Leonard Spencer Churchill is remembered in Britain as one of the land's finest. After all, he saved the country from a Nazi invasion. But to the world outside Britain, Churchill was hardly better than Hitler. To the West, he was a fierce imperialist. Imperialism being a validation for Churchill's racist mindset. The racism is well documented. "I hate Indians," Churchill once wrote. "They are a beastly people with a beastly religion." The hatred was not all words. Churchill engineered the 1943 Bengal famine. During the Second World War, Britain exported wheat from India, Allied troops were fed, while Indians went to bed hungry. Churchill stopped all food supplies to India. 4 million people starved to death in Bengal in 1943. It was not imperial mismanagement. The famine was a classic case of racism. But Churchill blamed Indians for breeding like rabbits. Churchill's xenophobia is also exposed in his support for gas bombs. During the Arab uprising of 1920, he lamented the squeamishness of his colleagues who were not in favor of using poison gas against so-called uncivilized tribes. The same year, Churchill sent the Black and Tans into Ireland. The murderous militia were tasked with terrorizing the Irish and defeating the Irish Rebellion. In the year 1949, Churchill ordered the British Army to fire on the anti-Nazi protesters in Greece. He also facilitated Zionism in Palestine. "Palestinians were barbaric hordes who are little but rabid dung," he wrote. Churchill justified the colonization of Australia. In South Africa, Churchill planted the seed to strip the voting rights from the black communities. But despite all of this, Britain is blinded by its excessive admiration of Churchill. He is a hero for Prime Minister Boris Johnson. His predecessor David Cameron thinks Churchill saved humanity as a whole. The truth is, Winston Churchill was a racist. His prejudice is responsible for millions of deaths. Churchill thought the British were winners in a social Darwinian hierarchy. This thought is out of date, just like British imperialism. Racism, another legacy of the British too, needs to die, as does the lionization of Winston Churchill. Bureau Report, WION World is One.